Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. Let's start. It's Kim here speaking. Let's start off looking at the risk events this morning firstly, and I'll just bring that up on here. There we go. So risk events today, well, we've already seen some data out. Europe, China, Australia data all coming out to a degree. We've got this morning then left, we've got some manufacturing figures to come out in European figures. Low level in terms of their normal impact. I don't disagree with that at all. We've got a 10-year bond auction which could give a little bit of a kicker to the pound, but probably most people never notice it. One thing, I let a big sigh out as I talk about the non-farms, the ADP non-farms, purely on the basis that they're often so far out and so wrong. But look, 115, just be wary. Canadian building permits not at all, no impact whatsoever normally. Bank of England governor speaking there at 2 p.m. It really depends where he's doing now, due to deliver a speech entitled Delivering Policy Hold Protection and Insurance Regulation. Not sure that's going to really kick the markets too much somehow, unless someone was to ask him a cross question. Insurance and banking, anyway. Fed chair speaking at 3. He spoke yesterday, of course, already. There may be still things that come out on that, and that could certainly create some volatility, so wary of that. And the US ISM manufacturing figure dead on the 3 p.m. So again, that's possible volatility around there. Traders will be looking at everything at the moment, the way markets are running. So let's have a look at the technicals and what we got here then. So starting off with the euro dollar. Euro big buy yesterday, bit crisscross really. It went up, came down, went back up. Today, started off moving a little bit uncorrected. Difficult when it takes the previous low out. It spoils the pattern effectively that's going there. I prefer to see higher lows and higher highs in the market. It's easier to read. This leaves me with question marks, and looking at it at the moment, it's about, in the shorter time frame here on the 60-minute, it's looking pretty much like it's going to take the previous low out there and give it, in the short term, at least a lower high. Quite choppy potentially as we run through, but the figures not necessarily helping things, but we will, as I say, we'll see some numbers coming out there that might gather and do something. Okay, so that's euro looking on the soft side at the moment. The pound, let's just run down to the pound. So looking at the pound then, where it was 754, just checking something. Pound yesterday also had one of those days. It took out a lot of lows below there. I should imagine a stack of stops were hit and taken through on that move there, in particular as it took out these 2 sets of lows. It also gave us a lower high effectively from the more significant one here. We've got another significant lower high here, having a bit of a bounce through yesterday evening and into this morning, but at this stage where we're sitting, looking, it's got a high low in. Maybe if it starts breaking down below that 21 sort of area, it's got potential for more downside. So just looking at how it's sitting at the moment. I was looking at something else there, so I just need to make a quick adjustment on something. There we go. I do apologize. Right, okay, so looking a little softish on the shorter time maybe. So dollar yen. Dollar yen, hard one to follow some of the time. It's obviously on the balance of it being a market where when risk is off, money runs into it. Sometimes when the risk comes back on again, money runs into it. So we're seeing this sort of lesser impact on some of the data and the news that's coming out at the moment, and hence it's just consolidating. So little for me to do that on its own. Aussie dollar. So the Aussie, similar to the pound, taking out previous recent lows, certainly looking a tad on the well, softer side for sure, continuing in that way. At the moment I'm just looking here, and it's doing a similar sort of bit of action here. It's to what we're seeing elsewhere, although it's quite ugly. It's just sort of effectively, I talked about them yesterday, the prior highs there, and it ran into the prior highs there, and well, shortly afterwards ran through, just clipping its weekly pivot. It's done the double top here at the moment, and it does to me just look soft at this stage, so looking a tad soft there. Canadian dollar, well, again, the Canadian dollar has been tracking softer against the US dollar. US dollar here been pushing up. It's got into a bit of a mess, a bit of a chop fest really on the 4 hourlies here. Still largely higher lows, higher highs. It's not quite as bad, but that said, it's just looking to fight. It's finding support around this level that we were hitting at the beginning of the week. They're just finding a bit of support off that again. Maybe a break back above the 34 sort of area would confirm, be a bit more of a confirming point of action to the upside there. Okay, New Zealand dollar. Just a quick look at that. Again, yesterday taking out prior lows there, actually taken them out the day before, and then just gave us fresh lows yesterday. So we are seeing this sort of picture of fresh lows coming through on some of these markets, which, well, it's just for further softness really. Uncertainty out there, and there's plenty of that at the moment. Looking at this at the moment, New Zealand dollar, I'm looking at the potential short opportunities off that weekly or monthly pivot. The new monthly pivot sitting there, tracking up there at 69 at this stage. The way it's been running, there's no love for it, and there could be shorting points. Right, okay, that's pretty much there. Let's have a look at the commodities. So gold lost out yesterday, finally breaking this sort of area that was pointed out yesterday morning, breaking through that again. We're sort of seeing this sort of swing action of a flash up and a flash move down almost, and I think when the Fed suggests that it may be a case for tapering a bit faster, that's the sign that it's more likely to happen, regardless of the new variant, etc. It's certainly put the jitters out there, and gold, well, not really liking that too much, and I just think it's such a risky trade at the moment, largely. Again, as ever, I'll say it needs to be taken with wide stops and with a big picture. Oil, well, oil's continued its southbound journey, regardless of all the positioning and etc. It's on the RSI there isn't on the MACD, but there will be on the RSI. Bit of divergence. There we go. You just see from the price action that's sort of sitting there. So, bit of divergence sitting across there. Do you know, if it was to run back towards its well, new monthly pivot that's just coming in there at 72, could be quite interesting. See its reaction. So looking at that sort of level, or maybe just if it can continue in this sort of direction at the moment, maybe just look for a trend break later. Right, that's oil. Right, let's move across. Look at the other markets. Let me just check something out there. I can press that button. So he says looking at the other markets, if I can press the right button, there we go. And well, Ethereum is the star of the crypto markets this morning, and it was yesterday. I mean, it's largely, as I've said for a while, it's a bit of an outperformer. It's modestly outperforming though, whereas other markets dipped down, and we saw Bitcoin yesterday dropping off a little bit. There we go, but I think Bitcoin's struggling a little bit more. Ethereum's just got the momentum behind the moves, but we are coming pretty close to its previous high here, and I wonder if we'll see some profit taking as traders come through a break of that level. Well, we'll see it going into new highs. Ripple, it's not had such a bad time. I mentioned the lows here, and it's bounced off that. Well, it has continued, to be fair, of sort of getting a bit of a grip, but overall to me it still looks pretty weak. Yes, it is putting a reversal in. Maybe it has got some more gas in the tank to go further. Momentum may be picking up from here, and that, as I say, it may be a significant enough low. So just looking, I mean, the strongest still from the three that I'm looking at here, still for me looks like in the favour towards Ethereum anyway. Right, let's have a look at the indices. So let's have a look at what's been happening through the Asian session here, and well, just further consolidation on the CSI 300. Really is not going anywhere too fast at all. Just consolidation. Yesterday, I said yesterday, when Nikkei 225 came right away off, starting to look okay. It's picked up a bit last night, but it may just be a retrace before we see a continuation. Doesn't look great at all. FTSE up this morning on the open here, but yesterday putting in another down bar. The markets, all these equity markets are looking a bit doubtful. CAC yesterday, DAX 40 here, and the CAC all having down days yesterday, bouncing a bit at the moment. Are these just bounces that we'll see be sold into at some point soonish? We'll see how these develop, but they do question them. S&Ps again had yet another solid down day. That daily 100 MA seems to be cooling it down at the moment, and if not, it may just be these recent highs over here, but it just looks like it's tracking back south. What cheer can we see in the markets to get these rallying again? Nasdaq just doing a little bit better in terms of its holding on to its own consolidation, a little bit better there, but the Dow really shows the story there as well of the although it's only a small market relatively, still showing that weakness that's there. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. Let's just check there's nothing I've missed on there. Nope, that's all done. I wish you a great day. I'll catch you in the morning. I will catch you in the morning. Yes, I'm just checking. Definitely will catch you in the morning. Won't catch you Friday morning, but I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Bye for now.